Really should just need it when he's talking. So I'm gonna go tell. Hi, George. Hi, George. Mm. You disappeared for a minute. That was nice. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's because we
George said, George, are you on there? George, are you on there? All you need. Hold on just a second. I got George on there the last. George, yes. George, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? So Kim, I need to do that.
How quick is this?
Oh, really? Why did you?
No, no.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
I usually run their audio sources. So you should keep, then you should hear. George, you said you put this in. You have your phone? Yes, I can hear you on the computer. Okay, hold on. That's what it's supposed to, that's what it's supposed to show, that's what it's supposed to. Well, it's 5 minutes till.
Okay, now I see all the trustees. Yes.
And you should be able to see yourself on this one.
No. I see, yes, I see myself in my home.
And I can hear you. No, I'm gonna mute my phone. I'm gonna ask George if he can speak. Okay, George, you see me? Can you hear me now? So George can hear me through my phone.
That's right. I can hear the room over the phone, not over the computer. I can hear you on the phone, yes. Okay, okay. Should I mute the mic on the computer?
I can hear you fine. You just can't hear me.
That's right.
George can't hear anybody in the room, so I mean, it's right.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock, and we're going to call I'm calling the Board of Trustees Public Hearing Meeting to order. This is our,
Just
for
barely.
Thursday, May 14th, 2026, 6 p.m. In this meeting, this is our annual public hearing meeting where we discuss the items that are in the agenda on the, for your review.
I got it.
Our budget review, our annual assessment, and then the 2026-2027 budget resolution. So with that, I'm going to ask Don to walk us through these.
Good evening, everybody. Next screen, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I also want to tell everyone in advance that for the first time, we're trying to do a call-in from one of our trustees. George could not be here in person. He's on the screen. He is calling in, and because of this new technology we're trying to use, there might be some feedback at times. And Kim is going to try to fix that as we can. We might have to, Kim, we might have to turn off the mics or the mic, his mic to us maybe, and have him call in on a phone. That might help that feedback.
George, can you hear us now, George?
It seems to only happen when we're
I
talking.
can hear no one if they're speaking. No.
So shall we have him just call in and?
Maybe he should call in and we'll put him on speakerphone up here so he can sort of hear what's going on. And we'll turn off.
What screen do I need to be on right
We're on the budget. The budget. Obi-Wan.
Good evening, everybody. Just the highlights, if there's any specific questions, come to the podium. The main thing is our fees are not going up this year. Staying the same. So if you.
Yes.
We need to figure this out because there's too much feedback.
Okay.
George is calling in, and I'm gonna cancel this out.
Yeah, do that before
find his number. Slattery.
LA.
Okay. It sounds better.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Wait, I don't know. I think there's still some feedback. Is it because they're turned up high? And we don't want to talk so close to the mics.
We'll try, whatever. Anyway. Going down reading about the same here.
Read it to me.
81034854555.
Also, here, the salaries remain about the same, mainly because Vicky did not ask for the same amount of money. So, there remains practically the same.
Okay.
Our insurance remains the same. Everything on that first page is unique. Page. We went down a little bit to some subscriptions. We went up a little bit on our internet. And, repairs and maintenance, the only thing new here, we did add a line item for the pavilion now. When we get the pavilion, we do need to make repair, whatever, on the pavilion. We did anticipate the phase two building. Another double that for this year, we'll have to wait and see what expenses we do have for phase two building. Go on up again. Because overall, we went down on the repairs and maintenance. Lawn care remains, automobile insurance, and that remains the same. Our adults, we went up a little bit there. Electric, we went up a little bit naturally. Gas, we went down with gas. Usage and that, sewer, utilities, went up a little bit, not a lot. Total operating expenses for next year is going to be $1,223,018. That is the total of our operating expenses. If we go on to the last page, this is our bond payment for the whole year, $161,272. The project account remained the same. We were able to put a little more money away, and the road stayed the same. So our fees on annual assessment remain the same at $2,024,000. Is there any questions?
Being no questions, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is our resolution for our annual assessment. And again, Don will take us through that.
Yes. I will just hit the highlights. Our annual assessment is $195 per month per lot. Fiscal year is the 26-27. And that's about this last year. Change the years. Any questions?
So the dates changed on this resolution, but the assessment remains the same.
On to the resolution for the 26-27 budget. Everything is the same. We get to the last page. Total general fund is $1,384,290. Total reserve funds, $639,810. Total all funds, $2,024,100.
Okay. Any questions about any of these items? Being none, I'll take a motion to close our public hearing meeting. We have a motion. We need support. We have support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Oh, one sec. Oh, I did ask for resident comments. So we're closing that meeting and we're going to move on. Kim's trying to figure this out, and she'll be continuing to work on
Not this Kim.
okay, but Kim Jacobs is on the line also, and she's trying to figure it out. So we thank her for that, and hopefully we'll get it figured out soon. But it just seems to come and go here. Okay, we're going to move on now to our board. We're going to open or call to order our Board of Trustees regular meeting for this Thursday, May 14th, 2026. We're going to start with our normal invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please stand. God our Father, we praise you and thank you for the blessings that you bestow on Holiday Park and each one of us. We thank you for this day and ask for the Holy Spirit to guide us in all of our discussions and interactions. We thank you, God, for all those present at our meeting and for all those who are streaming. We ask for your help and guidance so that those present are patient, understanding, and respectful to one another as we remember that we are a community of family, friends, and neighbors. We ask that you bless Holiday Park and protect Northport and the surrounding areas from all dangerous and damaging weather this hurricane season. We ask for your blessings on the health and safety of all of our residents who will stay in the park this summer and those who are headed north or who are traveling during the summer months. We ask all this to you, our Father in heaven, in the name of Jesus, your Son, who is our Lord and Savior. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, our next item is our roll call.
Okay. Chairperson, Sean Slattery. Present. First Vice Chair, Bob Hoffman. Second Vice Chair, Treasurer John Foster. Present. Secretary Secretary Jackie Mitchell. Here. Trustee Joni Anderson. Here. Trustee Tim Selo. Here. Trustee George Clinch. Sergeant at Arms Rick Weber. Manager Vicki Lawrence. Yeah.
We have approval of our previous meeting minutes. First up is our regular board meeting from 4/9/2026. I need a motion and support to accept these. We have a motion and we have a second to accept. Now we're opening it up for any discussion or any changes. I just see a couple typos. On number 5, it says Sean Slattery. It's on page 2, number 5, top. Okay, and then after you get that one, go down to number 9. On the second line there, it says motion replacing resolution 2025-02. It should be 2025-05. That's all I had. Anyone else have anything? Okay, Jackie, you need to tell us the page number and then the section. district manage right now.
On page one, section. And Sean.
Oh, yeah. Okay, one sec. We need to, Deb has to catch up, one sec. Okay, continue.
End of that sentence on page one, section five, property, and let the office know it's not now. Be looking,
Oh,
that would be. And then section six. It's the last sentence, section be free for approval.
Thanks, Jackie.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not.
One, very first page, number 4, reading, the end, the very last sentence there, CHPR. CHPR. That's all I can. Oh,
Okay, anything else? I'll say all those will amend the motion to accept the minutes with the changes as reported. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're moving on to the next minutes for our workshop board meeting for 4/28/2026. I need a motion and support. We have a motion and a second. Opening it up now for discussion. Any changes to these minutes?
Anyway, going on to 3, the roll call, where it says Sergeant at Arms, he in there, and District Manager Vicky doesn't have a pay. There's 8, session, misspelled.
Say that one more time, please.
Number, section 8. I'm sorry, page 2.
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, yes. Yep.
And then,
No, it's not.
What?
I'll have to argue with you.
Well, might be right, but mine.
Oh, one sec. Yeah, we have two going on at the same time. Jackie, what was your last one, please? Yep, we got that. Okay, are you done, Jackie? Anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Okay, Joni, you had something. Can't believe you missed that, Jackie. Anyone else? Okay. What's that, George? Get you next.
Each, Jim?
Okay, George. Yep. Yep. Misspelled. Yep, we got that one. Thanks. Anything else? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I have a couple things myself. Sorry, but
Sean, Kim thinks she's fixed the problem. Can you guys try to use your mics now? She can hear you.
okay.
Screaming, but we can't hear anybody else. Probably back off.
Okay. Well, I think everyone else turned theirs off. Maybe if we all turn them off except the person talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm talking, number 1 on page 2, under discussion, final budget review. It says, no changes from the budget. I didn't quite understand why it says that. Because this was the first time, I thought it was the first time we were reviewing the budget. So is this meant no changes from the budget from the previous workshop? Is that what we were saying there? Twice over workshops. Okay, so I think that should stay, just so everyone understands, because we made a lot of changes to the budget from 2025, 2026 to 2026, 2027. So I would say it should say no changes to the budget from the previous workshop. Okay. The next one, the discussion on NB2. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Okay. This is the annual assessment. It says, right now it says we had a date change. I think what we want to state there, I think what we discussed was we changed the dates from the last year's resolution. That's more clear. What you said is correct, but we should explain it so for people reading this in a year from now. We changed the dates from last year's resolution. On NB3, again, it says budget corrections were made. Let's add to the totals at the bottom of the resolution. Don was actually just correcting those totals at the bottom of that resolution. Okay, in number 5 there, Don Lemaster handed out our project list. Sean Slattery went through the list with no changes. There was actually 2 lists handed out that meeting. Don Lemaster handed out the budget, let's see, how do I have this written here? Oh, he handed out the project budget list, and Sean Slattery went through the park project list. And then, when you're set, let me know. And then in number 6, it says Sean Slattery suggesting always air. That was actually Vicky. Vicky suggested with her quotes that she gave us, she pointed out that Always Air was the one that had the best price and best warranty. I want to give credit where credit's due here. And then the second sentence there says, we will bring this back in May only for a quote. It's actually, we will bring this back in May for a vote. Yep. Under number 8, the last sentence that says, Sean Slattery said we are not budgeted for this. I don't remember that. Vicki, can you help me? I think I asked the question where this is going to be paid for, this item, this is the pool, bathrooms, water, sewer backup. Is that's coming out of our operational budget, or is that gonna come out of the project
Right,
budget?
and that is what
Okay,
that's referring to.
okay.
that you had asked about.
Okay, so this is, yeah, we're not budget, so it's gonna come out of our project budget, yes. Clarify that. And um, I think that's all I had. Oh, you're right, there's one other item. Under number 5, I didn't go to the beginning. Under chairperson's report, that first sentence should just say 3 supplemental items added to the agenda. And then we had the 1, 2, 3 gate hits, how to handle over summer months. The pavilion project was change requests, and then number 3 stays as it was. And I will apologize for that because I actually give a copy of my chairperson's report to Deb. I didn't have a copy to give her that night, and so and these 3 items were added at the start of the meeting as supplementals, so they weren't on it even if I had it to give her. So we just had mentioned it in the meeting. That's all I have. Now, if we can amend the motion to accept the minutes with changes. We have a motion. They say they will. The same first and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And motion carries. We got through that part. Yeah, it was Tim and Jack. Okay, where are we at? Report from our district manager.
We'll see how this goes. Good evening, trustees and residents. Well, we made it to the last board meeting of the fiscal year, and I think everyone deserves a round of applause for surviving another busy season of meetings, motions, projects, emails, and most importantly, the many fun activities that make this community so special. It was a lot of fun this year. As we wrap up the season, I would like to sincerely thank the Board of Trustees, the committee members, staff, volunteers, and residents for your continued support, cooperation, and dedication to our community throughout the year. I would especially like to recognize our trustees, our committee members, and volunteers who dedicate countless hours, thank you, to serving this community. Your time, effort, and commitment are greatly appreciated. So thank you to all of you. You've been a big help to me this year. This season included many important projects. As a matter of fact, I want to give a round of applause. Because really, you guys are the ones that make the park. So this season included many important projects, operational improvements, community events, some policy discussions, and ongoing maintenance efforts that require significant coordination and teamwork. Your participation and involvement continue to make a positive impact on the community. So I just want to go over some of the happenings to report on. So some of your favorite words or word is violations. So I'd like to thank Jackie and Tim for taking the time to conduct property inspections with me over this past year. Since the start of the season, we identified 120 violations, with 79 already resolved and closed. I am continuing to work through this process for either compliance or fines on open violations. The top violations continue to be weeds and overgrowth, mold and mildew, our deed restriction 3P, as well as improper carport use, using it for storage or maybe even just not having the proper furnishings. You're using maybe living room furniture, and that's our deed restriction 3Q. And maybe we have a new one, gate hit. So, a new top one. But we're getting there. We're getting better. We have completed and or scheduled home cleanup services on 12 properties. So this would be for owners that are not, that have open violations for weeds, mold, mildew, things like that. That is under the 3P deed restriction. We can do the cleanup in-house or hire someone, and we can charge the owner, invoice the owner for those services. So for those services, we have 12 properties that we have either completed or that we have scheduled the home cleanup service on, and that will be a total invoice amount of $2,075. We have also completed our vacant lot cleanup services. This was a project that we started back, early in October, November timeframe. So of, we've done 22 of those vacant lots. At that time, we had 116 vacant lots that we identified during those inspections. And that totaled invoices that we did send out of $1,885. And most of that was tree trimming, whether that was tree trimming that we could do on our own because it was, lower, didn't require a safety concern, or some of the larger that where we had Northport trees come in and take care of those. So that totaled $1,885. We have collected 900 of that total. And then I would also like to say, speaking of vacant lots, I do have a report that at the time in October of 2025, we had 116 vacant lots. Now we currently have 101 vacant lots remaining. So it is exciting to continue to seeing these lots being purchased for new homeowners, new homes that are joining the community. So that was exciting to see that new number go down. We also I want to report on corrective action requests. So I just want to greatly appreciate residents for submitting the corrective action request, the forms that you typically, that you have in the lobby, or maybe you even come just to the front office and report items to us. But they do help us bring attention to concerns involving the common areas, the facilities, and residential properties. Since August of last year, there were 201 corrective action requests submitted. Right now, we only have 7 that are remaining open and scheduled for completion over the summer months. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you. So if you didn't hear that, since August of last year, 201 corrective action requests have been submitted with only 7 remaining open and scheduled for completion over the summer months. And so speaking of summer months, we have our summer projects I'd like to report on. So for our maintenance, our groundskeeper and custodial summer projects, kind of what we're going to be doing, while you guys are out on the beach having a great time, we are still going to be working. And so we have the pavilion construction will begin. It's in the permitting phase right now. So we will be, continuing to do the oversight of the pavilion construction. Also, we'll be moving the used phase 1 and phase 2 pool furniture into storage as the new pool furniture arrives. We will also continue phase 2 landscaping improvements. So I know many of you have seen that we have started that landscaping already, and we're doing that all. So I want to say thank you. So I want to say thank you to our maintenance staff and our groundskeeper, because it's hard work getting out there and getting all the landscaping done. So I really appreciate what they have done so far. We still have some more to go. Also, we have the phase 1 breezeway custodial closet that we are looking. That's on the agenda for tonight. So that will be a summer project should that move forward. Our staff will be actually cutting out all that flooring and opening that area up for Pied Piper to come in. And then they will put all the flooring, the concrete and everything back in. We will be adding crosswalks on Polina Road, as well as, we've done the Holiday Park Boulevard crosswalks here in front of the building. We also will be repainting the roadways, the yellow and white striping throughout the park. So we'll get those restriped and freshened up. And then we also will be power washing buildings and awnings throughout the community. We'll be installing the PVC tubes, continuing that progress on the residential mailbox post, or replacing those posts as needed. Also installing riprap around the culverts that are experiencing some washout. We're going to be completing the interior painting and wall art updates in the Phase 2 building. We've been asked for the ceramic room and for the Phase 1 kitchen to build some shelving, so we'll be doing that over the summer and getting those installed. Our custodial staff will be focused on deep cleaning the facilities that will include baseboards, vents, fans, and the common areas. We'll also look at the Phase 2 compound. This is for security cameras. The power and internet has been an issue there, so we'll continue to look at the access to be able to make those improvements for power and internet to service security cameras in the Phase 2 compound. For the office, we will be organizing and archiving our resolutions. That has not been done in some time. We'll also have records retention and document shredding, so anything that's come up for records retention, we'll be cleaning that out. We're also going to review and revise for board consideration purchase, rental, and ESA service animal applications, just to include and add and change some areas. Also, we're going to archive and reorganize our electronic file storage system, which is our SharePoint cloud system. We're going to update and revise internal process documentation. So we've had some changes, like with our MyQ and Gate software and some things that we've implemented that also changes the process in which we handle those types of items within our office. And then we'll be conducting staff training and some operational development over the summer as well. So on behalf of the district staff, I want to thank you again for your support throughout the season, and we look forward to continuing to serve the community and preparing for another productive season ahead. So enjoy the fun and the sun this summer. Thank you.
I think we owe Vicki, as well as her staff, maintenance, and the office staff, a big thank you, and I want to say applause, but I mean whatever. Because it's summer and they don't take a break. They continue to work right through the summer until everyone comes back again in the fall. I'm sorry. George, is that you? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll try to be right in it here. All right. So we have our treasurer's report next.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to finance committee days of Jerry Chapman, Roy Leger, Revenue, Vicki Lawrence, and Eric Buki. They all take part in doing our budget. It greatly helps me with my job. This is the treasury report for the assessments received, $164.33. Balance in our pavilion fund, $95,990. We have made the first deposit on the pavilion to it. Freeze for Tuscola, we have $6,356. Also, I went today and ordered 12 new pounds of pre-installed, put in June 16th from the exit and entrance between them two posts, two areas. April income, $135,587.53. April operating expense, $83,630.43. Also have broke down now, we're not including our project expenses in our operating account anymore. We've separated them starting this month, so that last month it looked like we had spent over $200,000 Moving on, our restricted reserve account, we have $300,483.60. Also, I would like to report on this. This is a money market account. Vicki Lawrence and myself went to the bank a week ago and spoke to the treasurer management in the bank, and we are now going to earn $200,000. We're going to earn 2% on all of our money. They have agreed to this to keep our business. So that's good news. The project account, we have $227. In the certificate of deposit, $378,700. We have two CDs, each with $200,000. Our prime state fund, $23,090. Our operating account, $939,148.65. Also, I would like to talk on the project account to the trustees. Because of fine design, we had to buy more rock, another $1,500. So I did add into the fine design another $1,500. Aluminum tech, I have reduced the money for the phase two furniture, pool furniture, by $6,000 because we have $6,000 sitting in our operating account that we wouldn't be using this year, so we reduced that down. So in the project account, as of today, we still have $57,700. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Okay. The next item here is our chairperson's report. That's me. The board welcomes all attending and those who are streaming. Please keep all comments, resident comments, to 3 minutes or less, and please refrain from any side comments or discussions as they are distracting to others. I have a few items here. Board members, continue to please speak into your microphones and make sure to turn them off during our breaks. We have a long agenda this evening, so I'm asking our Sergeant at Arms to signal the break at about 50 to 55 minutes, which is coming up close in another 20 minutes. And then we'll continue, and we'll just do a break every 50 minutes or so. In order that the board does not spend a lot of time discussing possible motions for items OB4 and OB13, I have written a draft motion for these two items as starting points for the board to consider, and I will ask our secretary to read the draft motions at the proper time. And that's all my comments. I have further comments when we get to OB4 and OB13. Thank you. Trustee reports. If you have a report, any reports on this end? Nothing down there? Any reports over here?
Yes.
Okay.
Summit come in and we rode around with them and Vicki and Tanner and looked at all the places. At the end of Joy Court, there's what I think could be a potential place that needs some more work to it. I don't want to say hazard, but it could be. So we talked to them about maybe doing some modifications, make it more like a catch basin at the end of that street, so we can put a grate over it so it's level, so we won't have a car dropping off the edge or someone stepping into a hole. So I've been waiting for a couple days for the estimate revision from Summit. I'm watching my phone because they're hopefully going to send it today. So we don't have it yet.
Thank you, Rick. And I also want to mention that we have, at the beginning of the meeting, our district manager added 2 supplemental items to our agenda tonight. The first being Phase 2 landscaping. There's additional costs that Don had just mentioned, and we're going to be voting on that because it will be coming out of the project money. And then we have a tree service quote to go over. So All right, I'm moving on to anything else from our trustees? Seeing nothing, I'm going to move on to resident comments. Any resident comments for agenda items? For agenda items, if you have something, just come up here. Ken, go ahead. You can come up, yeah. That's our sergeant at arms, and he's just getting it ready for you.
Ken Spearing, 6836 Howie Court. Just a few minutes, if you can, talk about the fitness center and replacing the universal equipment. I've been to many centers and many recreational areas, and there's usually a common theme, no matter if it's 2-floor, 3-floor, or like our little setting, is that a lot of the seniors, including myself, go to it, use a lot of those equipment as far as the universal ones. They do use the dumbbells, they do use the medicine ball, they do use everything else. But that universal equipment is so very easy to use. You can do a lot of things. You don't have to worry about getting yourself hurt too much and everything else. And a lot of people can't lay down on a bench and do dumbbells and can't get on the floor, but the universals, those 3 that I noticed, makes it very easy for people to go ahead and use that. And it's very easy to learn it. I was looking at it and the design, and to tell you the truth, our place has got really everything for the most part. You go to these things that are massive, and so it's very well designed, but I'm thinking that the 3 that I've seen on there, I think the one that would work in our room would be the one that's the hugger one against the wall, because I believe that can go there, and I think you can do 2 things at the same time with it. And I think if we started moving things more around, we'd lose space in there, because once the seasonals come in, that room gets used a lot for yoga, stretching, all the bikes and everything else. So I think for space-wise, and all 3 seem to be pretty decent, but I think that one would fit best in our room. So I think it's the first one, 15,000.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
You bet.
Yes, Ken, thank you very much. Anyone else? Any other comments? Sir, you can get up and talk. Yep.
Hi, my name's David Chu, 6776 Homey Court. I just wanted to underscore what Ken said. I use the fitness center 5-6 days a week, and I see all of the pieces of equipment getting used. And to do resistance training as you're aging, which gerontologists certainly recommend, the equipment's really necessary because of balance problems, strength problems. And I too would recommend that we use the one that is flush up against the wall, because I'd hate to see any of the pieces of equipment go. I see them get used all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Anyone else? Being no other comments, we're going to move right on to old business. I'll ask the board, the 3 items that we just went over in our public hearing are the first 3 items that we're going to be approving. So pull those back out. And we're going to take the first one is the 2026-2027 final budget review. I need a motion and support to accept that. We have a motion and support, and I'm being asked to hold on for a moment. So we have Bob and Don. We have a motion and support. Any discussion on this from the board members? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item is OB2, which is our resolution 2026-02, which is our 2027 annual assessment that Don went over in our public meeting. I need a motion and support to accept this. We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Being no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye, and the motion carries. Next item is OB3, our resolution 2026-03. This is our 2026-2027 budget. This actually is the resolution that approves the budget that we just approved under OB1. All those in, we need a motion and support. You have that. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. All right, we're moving on to OB4, which is our 2025 Holiday Park Audit Draft Document. This is, I want to just state something here. I need a motion support to accept this document. We have a motion from Rick and a second from Tim. This is our 2025 Holiday Park Audit Draft Document. We had Tom Kramer present this draft of the audit at our last workshop meeting. In that meeting, he stated that the final version would not be delivered until possibly the end of May. He also stated that there should not be any significant changes in the final document. The only changes forthcoming would be if they find any minor typos upon their final review. Therefore, the motion that we will be voting on, or should vote on, should state something like this, and I'm going to have Debbie read it, please.
Okay. To accept the draft 2025 Holiday Park Audit Document from Supla, Shea, Kramer, and Miller, PA, with the understanding that a final version with possible minor edits not affecting any of the audited Holiday Park figures presented will be sent within the late May, early June 2026 timeframe. I need a motion. Any discussion?
Any discussion, any changes to that? I believe that I asked for a motion out of turn when I first started this, or did I? Is this the first time we've talked about this? Okay, very good.
The first time.
All right, that's good. Okay, sometimes I get mixed up here.
So carries.
So we have a motion support on the floor for this draft motion. No discussion that I heard of. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. That's our draft audit. We should again be expecting this coming in the next month or so. OB5 is our project list. This is just, we're not making a motion on this one. It's just given to you as an update. You'll notice that the number 5 and number 6, the numbers added here are changed to green because we accepted those at the last meeting, or we are going to expect them this meeting, I guess. One's always air services for the AC2 replacement, the other one's the commercial pool furniture for phase 1. So those we're going to be talking about tonight. So I put those in there, and my numbers don't exactly match Don's, but Don's are the ones that are correct. These will be updated to match Don's because some changes were made that I wasn't aware of. So again, this is just for your review, and if you have any changes or questions about it, now would be the time to ask them.
Can I give an update
Sure.
on one of the projects? So for the Phase 2 electrical, Sarasota Electrical has been out this week and to begin to move forward with the upgrade on the Phase 2 electrical. So of course they ran into a slight problem and hit our main water line, but the repairs were made, and it didn't take them too much to get back on track, but glad that didn't happen during season. But it did have, take the water down at the pool bathrooms and the Phase 2 building for a short time. But they're back on track. So I wanted to give you an update is the next step that they have is FPL. They will be coordinating with FPL. So FPL will have to unlock the transformer. They have completed the grounding wires and all of that. I'm not an electrician, but they completed the grounding wires with the new meter box. So they've installed those. They're just waiting for the next step of FPL to come on site and unlock the transformer, and then they will get everything connected. So we'll have an update when we know when that has taken place.
Thank you, Vicky. Any other comments?
Yeah, I briefly talked about the summit quote. I think we need to decide if we want to push Joy back to maybe the fall when we come back, because I think there's going to be a change in the amount.
Do we have any idea of how much of a change that will be?
No, I don't. I've been asking them.
Well,
they've been covered up.
We have two options. We can either push it back, which I hate to do because that's one of the ones that are affecting those people, and a lot of them are gone right now for the summer months. Or we approve. This is coming out of the project money. We have 57 or whatever thousand left. We approve an amount for an increase for that, because whatever they increase it, we're going to get it done, right? It's not like we're going to say, well, we don't accept that. So
there was another thing too, Vicky. They talked about the sod, using additional sod, because some of these are existing yards, and they didn't quote except for both ends of the drain. That's what they've been doing to put sod down. But since these are existing homes, I think we need to sod the whole yard, what they tear up. So there's a little additional cost there too.
okay, and with that being said, we need to make sure that if the drought continues, that sod is, well, hopefully by the time they do that, we'll have some rain. But if not, we're going to have to worry about making sure that's watered, because those people that it's affecting, again, are not here. So I think it's hard, guys. What would we suggest? An additional $10,000, $15,000. That yes.
We have, even if we take another, we would still have around $40,000 left in the project. We could go, we could use up to that money. We allotted it for.
Well, it's definitely not going to be even close to that.
I know that.
I think if it doubled, I think it's currently that cost of that area was what, 20,000 or something like that, or 26 at the most.
I don't think the cost for what they're doing there is going to be a lot. They're not buying a box; they're going to build it themselves. They will have to buy the grate. So probably the biggest expense in this change is the sod. So 15, I would think 15 would do it.
Why don't we go up to 20 and then call,
That's fine. We have the money there.
right, we
can.
have the money.
That's fine with me.
I need a motion then.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to allow expenditure of up to 20,000 more for Summit. We have a motion support. Any further discussion on that? This is coming out of our project funds, and it will only be spent, only the amount needed in order to continue that project in that area will be spent. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So we can complete that over the summer. Okay. Next item we have is OB6, which is our AC unit, Phase 2 building, always air services quote. I'm going to ask that Vicki take us through that.
Okay, so the quote that we're bringing forward to the board is the Always Air Services, and this is for the Phase 2 AC unit. And this is a split system as well as two AC units. It's a split system that you'll see in the back of the Phase 2 building, as well as the handler that is where the pool room is in the Phase 2 building. And then the other replacement is to the left of the front-facing building, and that's a single unit. The total cost of those two units is $15,334.81, and that is the one that I'm recommending to the board. It comes with the best warranty for 5-year parts, 2-year labor warranty, and all of this includes the permitting, hurricane tie downs, if there's a pad needed, which I don't believe that we do, in labor, and any kind of connects that they need to have. I know that you had asked about that, Jackie, at our last workshop meeting. That is included in this price. So that is what I'm recommending, and it is the Rude system.
So I'm asking for a motion to accept the Always Air Services quote. We have Rick and Jackie. Thank you. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? This is to accept the Always Air quote. Yes. Motion carries. All right. OB7 is our Phase 1 new pool furniture Almotech quote. Now, I'm also going to state to everyone, if you're listening, we went over all this in our workshop. We had 3 quotes to come in on the Always Air services or for the Phase 2 building AC units, and the board had agreed that to bring back the Always Air services quote. So that's why we can move forward with that so quickly. The next item is our new pool furniture, and the board had discussed that and said we wanted to go with Almutech, Alumatech, because we already have them providing the pool furniture for Phase 2, so we want to keep it consistent.
I would just like to say one thing. I just want to make sure it's very clear because I hear different comments with regards to the pool furniture. This is not about it being commercial grade pool furniture. This is the furniture that we have in both Phase 1 and Phase 2 are many, many years old. It costs money and time to repair those, to replace the straps. So it was just time. There is not what I would say from everyone I've talked with in this industry, what is considered to be commercial grade type furniture. So this is about replacing the existing furniture that's there because it's time.
Thank you. And this is this the one where we have to accept the quote given here, but it's actually only 11,000 something coming out of our project money. The rest is coming out of our operations money. Okay. So we need a motion and support to accept the Alumatech quote for $17,767.30. We have a motion already? Okay, we have a motion and support. Any further discussion? I don't think you had it down, did you? Deb didn't have it. Who? Joni and Tim, or Jackie. Tony and Jackie. Tony, Joni. I am so glad that this is the last meeting for this season. Okay. Any discussion, further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to move on to OB8. This is our Phase 1 pool, bathrooms, closet, sewer repairs, Pied Piper Plumbing quote. Again, this came to us in our workshop, and we had stated that we would bring this forward for a vote at this meeting. So I need a motion and support to accept this quote. We have a motion from Bob. We have a second from Tim. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. Next, we have our fitness center workout equipment replacement. Again, this was discussed at our workshop in depth, and yes. Oh, yes, we're past our time to take a break. Thank you. I have my head down and I'm focused. Okay, so we're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and talk about our OB9. Okay, it's now 7:09, and we're going to continue our meeting. We have OB9, our fitness center workout equipment replacement. I would like to, well, again, I'm going to mention to everyone that we had 3 quotes come through at our workshop, and it was discussed that Bandit Fitness was the best one for us for a number of reasons that Vicky mentioned. But the biggest one was that it hugs the wall, which is exactly what our residents Ken and Dave talked about this evening. So that quote is before you. We need a motion and support for that. We have a motion by Rick and support by Tim. Any discussion or anything, Vicky, that you want to state about this?
I just want to say that I was the one that had some concerns, and I met with Vicky, and we walked through the different equipment that met all of the needs of the concerns that were there. And I just want to thank Vicky for the research that she had done and the quotes and the education that she provided. And I am in support of Bandit. So thank you.
Thank you, Joni. Anything else? Vicky, did you have anything?
Well, I would like to add that we did put out the suggestion box and was promoting for the residents to give their input on, because this is, your fitness center specifically. And there were some other suggestions outside the fitness center. So I think we're really going to love what comes back in the suggestion box. But I also spoke with some of the residents that I would catch that would either be going into or out of the fitness center to speak with them to get their input as well, so that we know that, what's being recommended is fitting the needs of, any of the residents that should, want to use the fitness center, and that it accommodates them well. So some of the feedback that I know that we had a couple of residents that came forward this evening and spoke on, from what they would like to see. And so of all the suggestions that I received, here is just need new equipment, so they want it replaced, get a new all-in-one, but it was in favor of putting in an all-in-one type system for fitness equipment for strength training, and the all-in-one that was being recommended, because it is the wall hugger, a space saver. You will be able, unlike the one that we currently have and are going to have to take out of commission, you will be able to use those, like you can have 2 people, using those interchangeable, like they don't have to be just one person in the way that the equipment works currently. Only one person at a time can use that all-in-one, but this one you could have 2 people using 2 different types of activities on that, on the new equipment that's being recommended tonight. I do want to thank everyone and their suggestions and writing out the benefits. They, would write what the suggestion is and how it would benefit, whether it's them or the community as a whole. And there were a couple that came in that I would like to bring up just for future reference that I thought was interesting. A hydro massage chair, like Planet Fitness has. And also, and this was a good one, we do not have a stair stepper, so maybe that's something we could look at in the future. And, that it's good exercise. We have the ellipticals and the bikes and all of that. Another couple of things that's a little off topic, but more events, ticket sales that are for working people. So I don't know if, they're looking for different times of of events. And then also bringing in a trivia night, it would benefit everyone. So I thought the suggestion box is going to work very well to help bring those things to life.
Thank you, Vicky. I think we need to amend our motion to include removing the old equipment that's
Thank
in
you.
there. So
And
we can do that. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of this amended motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is our pavilion electrical. This, help me remember what this one was, Vicki.
So this is the electrical for the pavilion.
Oh,
And Sarasota Electrical, the reason that we're bringing that one forward is the board decided to bring it forward to the regular meeting as they are doing other projects and have done other projects in the park more recently.
and at our workshop, we did not have, did we have a quote from them at the workshop? Or did this come in since then?
We did.
Oh, we did, okay. So we have seen this before, and so I need a motion and support to accept. Motion from Tim and Don. Any
Oh.
discussion?
I would like to add something that is new information so I sent this out to our committee members and our trustee liaison so that they could review the estimate in comparison to the scope of work that had been provided to Sarasota Electrical for the pavilion. And there were some items that came back that weren't clear in how they had it on the estimate. So we have been in written communication as well as verbal, but we have it all in written communication through emails that the scope of work that has been provided for the pavilion through the pavilion committee that the Sarasota Electrical has confirmed that everything that we're stating that we're requiring for the pavilion is in this estimate. So just wanted to make sure that that's clear.
And this quote or this money will come out of the pavilion project funds. All those.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, is it my understanding that this is a separate contract with the Sarasota Electrical? It's not going to be a change order to RFH?
No, it's not. RFH does not sub out. They don't do electrical, nor do they sub out electrical.
But I understand that, but then it would be an upcharge. It would be, what's the wording they call it? Change order. It's not gonna require a change order with RFH. It's gonna be a separate contract with
That is
Sarasota.
correct.
Okay. That was my concern.
Other
Thank you.
questions? George has a question. Yes, George.
Does anyone know where they're going to draw the power from?
From the main building, from phase one main building.
There was talk about drawing it from ground cover over there by the swale.
Sarasota Electrical said that it would be about $4,000 more to do that, and if we thought that we were going to need additional power in future years, but what they're installing and pulling from the main building will satisfy the current needs, and really what they're saying, but anything that we continue to add to the pavilion if there are changes in the future. They're saying it's plenty of power.
Any other questions, concerns? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We're on to OB11, or Resolution 2026-05, Pavilion Construction Change Order Authorization. I will state that we talked about this in our workshop, that we needed something like this for the summer. Vicki went off and she created this resolution. She did a great job. I reviewed it, and she sent it to our attorney for review, and it was accepted or approved through our attorney. So I'm asking that the board for a motion to accept this. We have a motion and a second. Now open for discussion. Any changes to this or any questions about it? The one item I would point out is that the way this is written, it is ongoing throughout the rest of the project. This isn't something that's just over the summer. And I think that's fine. That's okay. I just want to make sure the board understands that. Okay, we have a motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is our OB12, ACC Rules and Regulations, Update 5/24/33 and 42. It's before you. We've seen this. It's our second review from no changes from our workshop. Uh, I'm asking for a motion and support. We have a motion and support. Any questions or concerns? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item is OB 13. This is our board acceptance of the deed restriction recommendations document from the Deed Restriction Review Committee meetings. I just want to state before I open it for a motion that I want to make it clear that to the board as well as to our residents that the board vote today is only to accept the presented recommendations documents from the review committee that met this winter spring over the last 3 months. These documents are recommendations only, and the board will need to have several reviews of these documents this next fall, as well as a proper legal review by our district attorney prior to the board finalizing the ballot to be used currently planned sometime next January 2027, when most of our resident owners will be back here in the park. And with that, again, we have a draft motion that I'd like Debbie to read for you.
To accept the deed restriction committee's recommendations document and the example voting ballot as a starting point for the future, further Board of Trustee discussions, reviews, and changes. The trustees recognize that these documents are presented through the hard work and commitment of the deed restriction committee, and that the deed restriction committee's responsibilities have been fulfilled. Therefore, the deed restriction committee is hereby disbanded by the district's Board of Trustees with the adoption of this motion.
Any question? Oh, we need now I need a motion, support this motion. We have a support from Tim, second from Don. Open for questions or comments.
Can I just ask that, so that there's not confusion, that the word recommendations is eliminated from that? That it just says deed restriction documents from the committee?
Does anyone have an issue with that?
Only because when you read that from a transcript component, I think there's people that if we say that as a board that we accepted the recommendations, that could be a gray area that could cause us some future. So I would like to just strict the word recommendations and have deed restriction committee documents.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're going to strike the recommendations. So we're just going to say to accept the deed restriction committee's document and example voting ballot as a starting point.
And I would just like to extend a huge thank you to Cindy Earls, who listened to the last trustee meeting and took Sean's suggestions and created the changes into new documents. So I just wanted to give her credit because she did a lot of work on that.
Yes, and it will help us greatly moving forward into the fall. Yep. All right, so we have a motion and support to accept the amended. We have a motion. We need a motion. We have a motion and support now for this change, including the change to remove the recommendations document. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, everyone, for that. All right. More to come on that as we come back in the fall, in September. Next, we have our OB 14, our Resolution 2026-04, District Rules and Regulations Enforcement Procedures. Let me get caught up here on my documents. Again, this was something that we discussed in our workshop. It's just something that was missed when we made the change to when we created our resolution 2026-01. So this is taking that into consideration for our overall resolution that that sits above that. We need a motion and support to accept. We have a motion from Joni and a second from Don to accept. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. OB 15, our summer coverage for gate hits damage. This was something that we discussed as, again, in our workshop, our past workshop, as being needed. Again, Vicki went back and worked on this. Also, it goes in conjunction. OB 15 and OB 16 work together. We'll take them one at a time. But this is to basically handle how the office is going to handle gate hits over the summer. And this is a waiver form that she created that we've had already people that have hit the gates and said, I really don't want to go through the whole process. Here's my $100 because as the fine. And so that's what brought this to our attention to begin with. Vicki, I'll let you, if you have anything you want to state on this before we have the motion.
The only thing I would say is that I know this started out as for the summer, but I would also, just on the waiver of responsibility, if a resident or someone has hit the gate and they're accepting responsibility, they want to pay the $100 fine for that incident, and they're signing off on all the documentation, is that we make it a permanent process, just in those cases.
And I will state that when this was reviewed by our attorney, that was a suggestion that came back from the attorney to make it as a formal process to move forward.
And if they don't accept responsibility, then that would go through the fine committee process, the board and fine committee.
I have a question.
Well, I'm at this point, I'll ask for a motion and support for this. We have a motion from Tim. Any support? Second from Don. Now I'll take questions.
Is there any provision for someone that hits the gate and doesn't report it to the office?
So we do have security cameras. I do receive, I think actually a few of us receive notifications when the gate is hit, the lift arm is hit, so we know exactly when it does get hit. We can look that up through our security footage and through our MyQ if we have their vehicle information. So there's some avenues, but that doesn't mean it's going to be 100%.
I just wonder if by them hitting the gate and not reporting it to the office, wouldn't that be leaving the scene of an accident with property damage or not?
If we want to pursue it, yes. I mean, if the park wants to pursue that and take it to court, but that it would have to go through court for that to. Well, I think the police consider us private property in that respect. Okay, with that being said, any other questions about the format here? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. We'll move right on to OB 16, which is the waiver itself. That would take the information from the person willing to waive the formal fine process and pay their fine. I will also state that in the event that a gate is hit itself, or in this, we're talking about gate arms here, but if the gate arm is completely destroyed, we do have a process to go directly to the person's insurance to get paid for that. This is just covering the incident where they've knocked it off and they have the fine of $100. I'd like a motion and support for this. We have motion and support. Any questions or discussion points? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Vicki, for all the work you did on this. Okay. We're on to OB 17, our remote call-in instructions. You have a draft motion in front of you all that was written, I believe, by Vicki. Thank you again for this. It states, I move that the Board of Trustees accept and adopt the remote call-in instructions as presented by the Communications Committee, authorize their use for board and committee meetings as applicable, and direct that such procedures be implemented and maintained by the Communications Committee members, volunteers, or staff in compliance with all applicable Florida Sunshine Law and public meeting requirements, with this policy remaining in effect unless modified or rescinded by the board. Ask for a motion on this to accept this. We have a motion by Rick, support by Bob. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. We're going to move on to our new business. We have our committee chairperson versus liaison. This is a document that I will explain to everyone. That we had our annual trustee training on April 30th this year. And in that, we always discuss the Florida Sunshine Laws, the public records laws, the ethic laws, and this is given by Andy Cohen, our attorney, our district attorney. Anyways, in that discussion, a number of points were listed as far as when do we want to use a chairperson identified or trustee identified as a chairperson for a subcommittee or a liaison. And so I thought it was a good idea to write this document up. This will be present or put once it's approved. We will put this as part of our Section 18, which describes all of the jobs and responsibilities for our trustees. Does anyone, I need a motion and support for this document, then we can discuss it. Motion and support. Any discussion points here? You've had a chance to review it. What I tried to do is explain the reason for it, give the pros and cons for each, whether you're going to be a committee chairperson or a committee liaison. And then I also mentioned our current board appointed committees, which are our liaison to the Activities and Recreation Council, our liaison to the Fine Committee, our chairperson of the Architectural Control Committee, our chairperson of the Communications and Technical Support Committee, and our chairperson of the Budget and Finance Committee. And what this is doing here is once we approve this, we can consider how this is going to affect our job descriptions moving forward for next year. We can, I mean, and if it's going to impact, if there's going to be impact to our trustee bylaws. So first, I would like to get this approved. We have a motion support. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, I would like the those who are appointed as committee for these jobs that I just mentioned. If you want to make a change to that, it would be good that you discuss that, I guess, with Vicki, and we can decide how that's going to impact those jobs moving forward. I mean, I state how it impacts them basically in this document, but that's something for you to consider moving forward. Thank you. Okay, next we're going to move on to NB2, 2020-25, 2026, Goals and Objectives Report. Vicki will lead us through this.
Okay, so this is an annual document, but I just wanted to give you an update as we end our last trustee regular meeting for this season. Uh, So this will be a final report in our September 24th workshop, or maybe even the October regular trustee. But we are mandated, we're required to complete the goals, objectives, and performance measurements standards annual reporting form. And so this is an update for October the 1st, 2025 to September the 30th, 2026. Of course, it's only going through the current date. So on the item number 1 under community communications and engagement, the goal, this is about public meetings compliance. So the objective is to ensure that we held at least 8 board meetings, and the measurement was the number of public Board of Trustee meetings held annually as evidenced by meeting minutes and legal advertisements. And so I just want to confirm that we have, including, and because of tonight's meeting, that we have confirmed that by meeting minutes and legal advertisement that the required 8 board meetings were held during the fiscal year 2025-26. Notice of meeting compliance in goal 1-2 is the objective is to be able to, that we provide a public notice of each non-emergency meeting at least 7 days in advance, and notice of the annual meeting schedule printed in the local newspaper. And it's also that they were on the district website and published in the district newsletter. So it is confirmed through today is because we actually post all of our trustee meetings, workshop, and regular all at one time, the schedule. And then if it changes, we have to update that. And then we also met that requirement for the public hearing that we just had this evening. But that is evidenced by posting to the district website and published in the district newsletter. And that has been confirmed. We also, for goal 1.3, is our website public records. And this is to ensure that our meeting minutes, agendas, and other statutory required district records are readily available and easily accessible to the public by regularly updating the district website. The district website on the ADA compliance, which it does discuss this in the measurement, our website is powered by Streamline and it is always ADA compliant by default. And so that has been confirmed that we have completed 100% quarterly. We actually print out a report once a quarter to ensure that we are still meeting the ADA compliance. And and it's also been verified meeting minutes and other public records were up to date for these public held meetings. And then on page 3, 2, infrastructure and facilities maintenance. The maintenance staff, the objective is that the maintenance staff will conduct an annual inspection per year of all the district infrastructure of the park facilities and that they're being well maintained and operating as designed. And so myself, Nick, and our maintenance supervisor, Tanner, have done an annual inspection. And really this is part of their just day-to-day routine maintenance. But we did intentionally do a routine inspection. That's when we also found a small leak, but a leak nonetheless at the main water line before it got hit this time, but the main water line, and made those repairs accordingly. So that has been confirmed. We do keep maintenance logs, and that is evidenced in the maintenance logs the date that we completed that, and then of course through routine maintenance inspections. And we also complete our work orders that come in, from residents. So we have a lot of information that comes in that they complete for work orders. In goal 2.2, which is our district visual inspections, this is the objective is that the district manager and or trustees will conduct regular inspections of the 865 homes and property lots within the park to ensure they are well maintained and follow the park policies and procedures. As I reported on earlier in my district manager report, is that myself and trustees, which were Tim and Jackie, have performed 100% of the required visual inspections. We completed phase 1 on 12/19, 1/29/26, 4/23/26. And phase two, we completed those inspections on 1/30, 2/4, and 4/30/26. Owners were notified of any items to be corrected. In goal 2-3, the district storm swells and drain maintenance. District managers, the objective is that the district manager and the maintenance staff will conduct at least 10 visual inspections per year of the Holiday Park swells and drainage system to ensure water damage is maintained and operating as designed within the park. District manager will then recommend further inspection, cleaning, or repairs as needed. And of course, this is through much help with Joni, our trustee that is over the lawn service, because our lawn service actually does the clean out of the swells. So the swells were cleaned out by U.S. Lawns on 4/15/2026 and 10/16/2025, so that is a correction. Awaiting confirmation for the remaining 2 swells. I did get a brief update from the U.S. Lawns supervisor, which stated that he believed that they would probably be looking at a September clean out date for the next one. We also, visual inspections were completed as required, and any issues found were reported to the lawn care contractor. We are keeping a maintenance log book that has been implemented and being maintained. Goal 2.4, district landscaping, lighting, and irrigation. The objective is the park staff performs landscaping and conducts at least 6 visual inspections per year of the park landscaping, lighting, and facilities to ensure grounds and buildings are maintained and operating as designed. The maintenance supervisor is to recommend further inspection or repairs as needed. So I have a corrective action, but the maintenance staff is on track to complete at least 6 visual inspections. We have reported work orders for all FPL lights that have been identified as out. We have completed 2 dark time inspections, and there is 1 reported FPL light out at the pond. And I think some of you may have seen it, but that is still out, and we have reported that to be repaired. And we also have plans to add lighting at the bicycle and pedestrian gates, so we're working on that to lighten that area. And number 3, financial transparency and accountability. The objective is to prepare and approve the annual proposed budget as set by Section 12 of House Bill 1855. And so the report on that is once the board approves, which happened this evening, we'll confirm all deadline dates and requirements met as shown in meeting minutes, resolution, Holiday Park website posting, and our county documentation. All right, on to page 5. So goal 3.2 is the annual financial audit. The objective is to conduct an annual independent financial audit per statutory requirements and publish the results to the Holiday Park website for public inspection and transmit to the state of Florida. The annual financial audit, draft audit, was completed and presented to the Board of Trustees workshop meeting on April the 28th, 2026 by an independent auditing firm, which is Suppley, Shea, Kramer, and Miller. The final audit will be provided by the end of May or early June. I think I had end of May 2026 at that time, to be posted on the Holiday Park website and transmitted to the state of Florida. Goal 3.3, assessment notification. The objective is the notification of annual assessments mailed to residents and posted to the Holiday Park website after the adoption of the annual budget, and that is to be completed once the budget is adopted, which happened this evening. So we'll make sure that we follow those objectives and measurements accordingly. 4, the Board of Trustees, District Manager and Staff annual requirements. Objective is the Board of Trustees, District Manager and staff to take 4 hours of ethics training classes, Holiday Park Code of Ethics, Holiday Park deed restrictions, Holiday Park rules and regulations, House Bill 1855, and any other subjects that need to be reviewed annually. The Board of Trustees completed their annual ethics law, sunshine law, and public records training classes on April the 30th. The House Bill 1855 deed restrictions, rules, and regulations training will be completed during the summer. You're not finished working yet, sorry, but it will be completed during the summer. Goal 4.2, Form 1 and Form 1F Statement of Financial Interest. The objective is that each trustee is to complete the annual Form 1 and/or Form 1F when leaving office within statutorily required time. This is to be completed by July the 1st, 2026, and confirmed by the Holiday Park Administrator, which is our trustee chairman, Sean Slattery. And this is of the Florida Ethics of Commissions Form 1 and 1F timely completion date. And that concludes.
Thank you, Vicky. Okay, that was just discussion information. We are moving on to our supplemental items, of which we have two. The first one is our Phase 2 landscaping additional costs. That has been handed out to each of you this evening, and I'm gonna let Vicky speak on that.
Excuse me, Sean,
Yeah.
there's a typo on goal 3.2. At the very end of that, it's supposed to be state of Florida, and it's SATE instead of state.
Good catch, Jackie.
I just noticed it. You're welcome.
Okay, so as we had the initial delivery of the granite rock that we're using, I guess it's called like the salt and pepper rock that we're having put in at the at the fountains. We saw that we weren't really going to have enough coverage. It was showing too much of the rubber mulch that is up underneath it that we're covering. So we added another load, which was the 10 cubic yards of the same landscaping company that was initially voted on for the Phase 2 landscaping projects under the projects account. And that is with Fine Design. And so the price was exactly the same as what was originally, what we got on the first load, which was, and a little less because of the delivery fee being a little less. But it was a total of $1,500. We have already had that delivered and put in. We just wanted to be added into the project's funding for the Phase 2 landscaping.
And Don has already done this for our numbers that were reported this evening, so we just need a motion and support for this. Motion and support. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our supplemental item number 2 is our tree service quote. Again, Vicky will take us through this.
Okay, unfortunately, we have identified 15 more of our pine trees that are dead and need to be removed. So I had Northport trees. This is supplemental because I just got the information in earlier this afternoon. But so we have 15. 7 of them are the larger dead or larger pine trees that need to be removed, and then 8 of them are the smaller ones. So the total price is $7,305 for the removal and grounding up the stump and all of that. And right now we have $5,000 remaining in the operational budget. So it is above, what we have remaining in the operational budget. So just wanted to discuss whether that should be monies that we pull from another budget line item that we have available, or if we're pulling that from projects. It's really an ongoing concern.
Don, what do you suggest?
They've already deducted the 20,000 for Summit, 15,770 for Fitness, so we still have 21,942 left in the project. We could take it out of the project.
So you're suggesting so that would be $2,300.
Yeah,
$300.
$2,305 from the project.
Is there's no other area within our operations for that to come out of?
We could pull it from a open budget that we have, or available budget that we have in an area like general repairs. We also have a couple of recreational areas. I know that Tim had brought up with regards to pickleball that have no plans of using. That's believe that's $1,000 budget line item. And there is a tennis that has, I believe, the same $1,000. So we do have where we could pull from other line item budgets that we don't have any plans. Nothing's been submitted to use those.
So what does the board suggest we do? I'm open for other comments. All right. Sounds like the board would like to remove it from the projects account. So we need a motion to accept the bid here for $7,305 with $5,000 coming out of the general fund and $2,305 coming out of the project fund. I, again, need a motion for that. We have a motion from Tim and a second from Bob. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I also want to state that Vicky has talked. I know this came up at our workshop about how do we try to save the trees, our pine trees, and she has some information that she can report on from an arborist.
So basically, these are, those pine beetles, and it is so far into the process with the drought that we've had that their opinion was that at this point, we're not going to be able to save the trees. The best that we can do is that we can cut them down as soon as we see that they're dying so that we can try to help slow that spread down from pine tree to pine tree. But at this point, that's where we are.
So with that said, the board should start thinking about our monies for next year and how we start changing our thoughts to, we can still have other arborists come in and get other opinions. So we should probably do that. And Vicki might be able to do some of that over the summer. However, we also need to start thinking about replacing, start planting some trees out there, trees that will, that aren't pine trees, that aren't going to die because of the pine needles, bugs, and that will survive in this climate much, much better than these pine trees are. Although these pine trees are 50 years old, some of them, I bet, and so they've lasted quite a while. But they are looking a little scraggly if you look at them, and so it is time that we start thinking about how we're going to replace them to continue our park to look beautiful with trees. That being said, I am opening it up to trustee comments. Any comments?
Yes, on the behalf of our ACC committee members and myself and the residents that have stepped forward this year to bring new ideas to the park, I'd like to thank the board and Vicki for helping bringing the park forward and looking very excited about next year. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tim. Anything else?
I just wanted to say that going into the summer months, it looks like lawn care is going to be done on Fridays. And we're going to do phase 1 and phase 2 at the same time. Please, if you have feedback, it's a lot easier to correct anything that happens if you let me know as soon as you notice it. Because after they've left the park, it's going to be the next Friday that they're going to follow up on that. I appreciate all the feedback. The lawn care supervisor has been working diligently to correct those areas that we have some deficiencies in, but I welcome your feedback. Thank you. And I just wanted to say that our maintenance guys are doing a fabulous job on the landscaping. Looks very nice.
Thank you, Joni. Any other comments from our trustees? Yes. Go ahead.
Some comments.
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I want to thank Kim Jacobs and Kim Branch and whoever else is involved, and especially you, Sean, who helped make this work out for me as I have been listening to the meeting and have been attending it. And I also want to thank all the office people and the maintenance people for all the hard work they have done. And there's a special gentleman I really want to thank. As I go through my compound work and helping hands in that, I see him out there a lot. And that is Jim Oliver. He has done a lot to clean up down there by the Phase 1 big building in the back. And he has also cleaned up some properties. And he has worked very hard, and I really appreciate that and noticed it very much. And thank you and for helping me with this meeting. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome, George. Thank you. Any other comments from our trustees? Okay, we're going to move on to resident comments. Any comments from our residents this evening? Being none, I'm open for a motion for adjournment. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a great summer.